Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer from Melvin. So I've been reviewing this stuff because I've been loving it. They're out of Alpine, Wyoming, and they're now owned, I guess, by Roadhouse. And yeah, Roadhouse. So, there you go. So easily most beautiful can that I've ever had. Like literally visually, at least. And so Melvin is famous for a 2x4, won a bunch of World Beer Cup stuff. Famous for IPAs, but this brand now exists and under the Roadhouse Brewing. And so this is a Pils Boutique, and this is actually the first West Coast Pilsner I'm going to review for you guys. This sort of became in vogue about, I want to say about like 9 months to a year ago. And I try to be on the trends, review cool stuff for you guys, but it just hasn't really hit my market. So thankfully, I found one on the market. So this is Pils Boutique. Shout out to Paul's Boutique, Beastie Boys, blah blah blah. And so I'll do a whole spiel for you guys about the style. But pretty much, it's like so you guys know about Italian Pilsner. Like you're like dry hopping a Pilsner with European hops and getting a little bit extra on the aromatics on that. This is sort of like, let's like combine like West Coast IPA and Pilsner. So like hop it with American hops, get really punchy, right? Like the noble hops can only do so much for you. So now you get like the American punchy hops, and then you build it with like a 5% kind of Pilsner kind of guy. So like, and no really like crystal malt to make it an American pale ale or traditional American pale ale. So you're making like sort of Pilsner, but you hop it like American way, right? So I mean, here you can see it. Here comes a light gold, it's a strong color, wonderful clarity on that. Looks like Pilsner, right? And then on the nose, yeah, West Coast, right? So what they're using in here, even on the website, they call Sauv Blanc. So I think there's like Southern Hemisphere, like Nelson or something in here. So West Coast, as in like how it's hopped. It doesn't necessarily only have to be like American hops. It can be, they actually, by the way, in San Diego and West Coast, love using Southern Hemisphere hops. Like one of the most famous San Diego IPAs is Alpine Nelson, now Mikkel. So lots of Sauv Blanc character, ripping, myrcene, some soily character. Full blind, I'd be like, yeah, this smells like a modern West Coast IPA. Cheers. Tons of like, modern aromas. See, now on the palate, it gets a grapey Sauv Blanc character. A little bit of that soiliness, a little bit of that kind of like Pacific Northwest kind of like soily base tone. But then it tricks you midway through. You want more bitterness, more body, more echoing hop flavor, but it dries out really nicely, almost like a rice lager or like a cream ale, like like an adjuncted lager. It has this kind of like cleanness to it that's like very not IPA-esque, right? It's very lean, like. You think about these modern IPAs that are talking about like how lean they are, how pale they are, lack of crystal malt. This is even leaner than that. I don't know if they've adjuncted this, but it tastes like they have. It's very, very skinny of a beer. It's almost like a Japanese rice lager kind of thing. But then it's hopped like a West Coast IPA. So it's very aromatic and very Nelson-y. I'm going to suspect there's Nelson. Nelson's probably the hop in here. Yeah, that's really delicious. No can date, but thankfully I go to Total Wine frequently enough that I was able to find this quite fresh. I mean, they have some like shelf turds from the Roadhouse product and also the Melvin product, but excuse me. This is a new one for me. So really fantastic. I'm actually very much enjoying this guy. Yeah, it's killer. It's really refreshing. Like, I would like to maybe see this like with a more Pilsner-esque kind of to-do, right? Like a little bit more body, a little bit more grainy malt character, a little bit more husk, like more traditional Pilsner character. But this is like a session, lean, clean, hoppy guy at 5%. Like, dude, literally, this is the ABV of Budweiser. And it's so dry, so light, so flavorful, so much more tasty, so much more crushable. It's awesome. To smell this on a 5% beer is awesome. It almost has this like beautiful kind of like minty eucalyptus thing. Lean, clean, dry, delicious. Hoppy but lager-esque. Killer. This is high utility. It's tasty, high utility. I'm going to give this guy a 97 minus. This is my first West Coast Pilsner, and it makes sense to me. I mean, it just makes sense. Like, let's get a lager and Nelson the hell out of it. Like, how can you go wrong, right? 97 minus. First take, hot take on West Coast Pilsner, and it's absolutely delicious. Shout out to Melvin or Roadhouse for brewing all these delicious beers. If you guys see these guys, again, you see this Melvin product out there fresh, you see this Roadhouse out there, get it. Whoever the brewer is, well, I listened to an interview with him, but forget his name. Sorry. Get it. It's so good. He knows how to brew lagers. He brews IPAs amazingly. Just awesome product. I love when brewers are able to, they're doing two different brands. All these other, hoppy, this, Pilsner, that, all amazing. 97 minus. Cheers.